report. I don't know if Hannah's gonna read my app.
All right, good morning.
Good morning, Miss Phillips.
How are y'all today?
Good.
Good. All right, let's go ahead and start practicing counting by our sevens and our eights so that we are ready for our pattern sheet that we have to do today. And well, actually, before that, pull out your agendas and start writing this on the board. You have 2 minutes. I need you to also write your vocabulary words today. You can write them on the left side of your agenda where it says spelling words. Let me show you real fast. There's a column that says spelling words on the, right side of your page. These are our vocabulary words. Write them in there. You have distributive, multiplication, and division. Those are our vocabulary words this week. You need to write those down in the column that says spelling words on the right side of your agenda. When we talk about the word distribute, dis means to divide or deal out, and tribute means an offering, to assign, or to give out. So when we talk about the word distribute, we're talking about breaking it apart, breaking something it apart, distributing something, separating it, giving out something to 2 different things. So when we talk about distributing numbers, we break them apart to make them easier to handle. You write your O like we always do. I will be able to apply the distributive property. That's what we're working on today. And then your academic vocabulary. Distributive, multiplication, and division. You have 30 more seconds to write those down. If you don't get them down now, I'll have to write them later at recess. Where's your agenda? All right, put your agendas up. Your 2 minutes is over. I'm passing out a sticky note for when we do our 7th fluency. But before we start that, let's go ahead and practice counting by 7s and by 8s today. We're going to start with our 7s. I said agendas were up. You put it away. Write your name on your sticky note and put it in front of you. Let's start with our 7s while we write our names on our sticky notes. Ready? Begin. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, good. 42, good. 49, 56, 63, 70. Good. One more time. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. Good. I didn't see everybody's mouth moving. Stop. I didn't see everybody's mouth moving. So one more time. I want to see everybody's lips. You should have already written your name by now. I want to see everybody's lips moving when we count by our 7s so that I know that you're ready for this sticky note. Erase them. We are not writing our numbers on our sticky note right now. Y'all know that. We've gone over this a bunch of times. All right, from the top. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70. Good. That's good. We stop at 70. Good. We are going to practice counting our 8s real fast, and then we will do this sticky note, and then we can do our 8s pattern sheet. So I know we haven't practiced counting by 8s very much, but we're going to go ahead and get started practicing that so y'all are ready for your fluency sticky note when we do that later. Ready? 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, going to give you 30 seconds for your sticky note. Pencils in the air. Remember, our sticky notes are counting by sevens. So, when you write them on there, we're counting by sevens, not eights. I know we practiced that, but that's for our pattern sheet. Write your name on there again. Alright, Miss Eskridge and Miss Phillips.
Miss Eskridge and Miss Phillips.
I will do my very best.
I will do my very best.
To get as many as I can.
To get as many as I can.
In the 30 seconds I am given.
In the 30 seconds I am given.
Let's give our friend here a few seconds. Alright, ready? Set. Begin. And stop. Sticky notes in the air. Stop. Sticky notes in the air. Good job. I'm coming around to collect them. I've passed out some pattern sheets. Take one and pass it down. Write your name on it. There's two different sides, so it doesn't matter which side you're looking at. I just need you to write them down. Let me give you all some of these real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take one and pass. We'll take your arm out of your shirt and then you can. Alright. It doesn't matter which side you're looking at, but we are going to collect these so that you can use them again later on in the week. So make sure that your name is on one side of the paper. They're the same on both sides. Doesn't matter which side you're looking at. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Pencils in the air. Miss Eskridge and Miss Phillips.
Miss Eskridge and Miss Phillips.
I will do my very best.
I will do my very best.
To get as many as I can.
To get as many as I can.
In the 2 minutes that I am given.
In the 2 minutes that I am given.
Ready? Set? Begin. Alright, stop. Circle the last one you got to. Circle the last problem you got to. Alright, starting from the first row all the way on the left, the first problem says 8 times 1. We're starting up there. 8.
Yes.
16.
Yes.
24.
Yes.
30. have any more? No. Alright, good job. Give her a round of applause real fast. Count how many you got correct and write that number at the top of your paper. Alright, everybody up. Okay, I'm going to say a number. If you got this number less than the number that I say, so I'm going to start with 4 or less. If you have numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 correct, then you'll sit down. Yes, ma'am? Okay, if you have 4 or less, sit down. 8 or less. 12 or less. 16 or less. 20 or less. 24 or less. 28 or less. How many did you get?
She only got 2.
Well, it's okay. Worry about your paper. How many did you get?
27.
Okay, how many did you get, Journey?
32.
Good job. Give them a round of applause. Isaiah and Ariel, can you collect those papers for me, please? We are going to start talking about the distributive property again. So we said that if we talked about unit form, we're talking about unit form. How many tens do I have right here? What is this? 2 tens. Good. How many ones do I have right here?
2.
So I have 2 what?
2.
Minus
2 1.
minus 2 ones. Good. So if I have 2 tens minus 2, what is the way that I could break up these 2 tens so that I can have just 1 10 to work with? How can I break them up so I have just 1 10? Kyra?
You can break the 20 up into 10.
I could break it up into 10 and 10. Good. Let's try that. So if I break this up into 1 10 and 1 10, and I need to take away 2, does it matter which 10 I take it away from?
No.
No, because they're the same. So let's take 2 away from this 10 just because it's closer. If I take 2 away from 10, how much do I have left?
8.
8. Good. So now that we know that this 20, these 2 10s broke up, and we already subtracted 2 from it, how much do I have left in this problem?
18.
18. So 20 minus 2 equals what?
18.
Good. Let's try another one. Let's say I have 30 minus 3. If I said this equation or this sentence in unit form, how would I say it?
You would 30
3 tens minus.
minus 3.
Good, which is 3 tens minus 3. So what is another way that I could break up this 30 so that I have 1 10 on its own, so it's a little bit easier to work with? London? I know. Good. See? You just got to be on your toes. Make sure you're paying attention. If we separate it by 20 and 10, how many 10s do I have in this group?
2.
I have 2 10s. How many groups do I have right here? 1 10. So now I need to take 3 away. Would it be easier to take the 3 away from 20 or 10? 10, because you should already know 2 numbers that add together to equal 10. If I took 3 away from 10, what do I have? 7. So how much do I have left in this
27.
problem? I have 27. Good job. All right, take out your composition notebooks. I'm going to give us 5 minutes to work on the problem of the day. That includes you, I can't talk today. That includes you reading it and working on it and us talking about it at the end. Take out your composition notebooks. Let's get started. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alright, a scientist fills 5 test tubes with 9 milliliters of fresh water in each. She fills another 3 test tubes with 9 milliliters of salt water in each. How many milliliters of water does she use in all? A scientist fills 5 test tubes with 9 milliliters of fresh water in each. She fills another 3 test tubes with 9 milliliters of salt water in each. How many milliliters of water does she use in all? You should be solving that in your book on the blank page, the next available page. I want you to use try to use the distributive property, which is what we talked about over here, breaking things apart, and seeing if you can solve this in an easier way. Where did you put these in the first class?
Back in the basket, so tomorrow we go ahead. Here's a paper clip.
Sam? Show me what? Yeah. That's what we did. It said 10 plus 8, 12 plus 7. Alright, even if you're not finished, let's go ahead and start talking about this problem so that we can move on. Let's say that we draw a tape diagram. And one side of my tape diagram is going to represent the first sentence in my problem, which says, a scientist fills 5 test tubes with 9 milliliters of fresh water in each. So we have 5 test tubes with 9 milliliters of water in each. Do I need 5 groups or 9 groups, class?
5.
How much?
5.
I need 5 groups with how much?
9.
9 milliliters in each. Good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll put 9 milliliters in each group. And then the second sentence says she fills another 3 test tubes with 9 milliliters of salt water. So I need to make how many groups for this side?
3.
And put how much in each?
9.
9. 3 groups on this side because we have 3 test tubes with 9 milliliters of water in each test tube. Good job. So if I wanted to write a multiplication equation for this side of my problem, what could I write? What could I write? Let me pull a stick real fast. Number 11. It's okay. Yes, ma'am?
5 times 9.
Okay, we could say 5 times 9. Why did he say we could say 5 times 9?
We have 5 groups and 9 in each.
Good. We had 5 groups with 9 in each. What can we say about this side of our equation? Lewis?
3 times 9.
Why 3 times 9?
Because there's 3 groups that has 9.
Good. There's 3 groups with 9 in each group. So we know that this side of our equation is 5 times 9. This side of our equation is 3 times 9. But what is our equation for the whole thing? What is our equation for the whole thing? Journey?
8 times 9.
Why is it 8 times 9?
Because there's 8 groups adding the 3.
Good. If you count how many groups we have in the whole thing, we have 8 groups. How many is in each group?
9.
9. So Journey said for our top, or for the whole thing, we could say 8 times 9. But we don't know 8 times 9. We don't, I mean, that's just, it's too hard for us to do. But we could solve for 5 times 9 plus what?
3 times 9.
Plus 3 times 9. So let's try to do that. What's 5 times 9?
45.
How do you know it's 45? Quickly.
Because you can count up to where you stop, and then you can keep counting by 9, and then you can get to that 45. You can restrict it around. You distribute 5 to 9 to 5.
Okay, you could use the the commutative property and flip it around too and say 9 groups of 5. And if you count it by 5 9 times, you would get what?
45.
Good. What's 3 times 9? 27. And we know that because if we count by 3's 9 times, we'll get to 27. 45 and 27 are a little bit hard for us to add together though. So I want to break up my 45 so that I can borrow what number to make this into 30? I want to change this into 30 so it's easier to add. What number do I need?
3.
I need 3 more to get to 30. I'm at 27, 28, 29, 30. So I need to borrow a 3 from this 45. What does my 45 turn into?
42.
It turns into 42. If we have 42 and 3, and we change this, so we'll add our 3 to our 27, that gives us what?
30.
It gives us our 30. I'll write it up here. 30. Then I have to add what? What's left? We already did the 3 and the 27.
30 plus 42.
Plus 42 equals what?
72.
72. So that means the 8 times 9 is what?
72.
It means 8 times 9 is 72. Good job.
I was so close. I put 70.
I need you to pull out your no, not your composition notebooks, your green book that's in your table. We are going to be working on these groups today. If you are in group 1, you will start with the teacher. If you are in group 2, you will start in a group. If you are in group 3, you will start working on your independent work. For your independent work and your group work, all of that is inside of your green book that is in your desk, this green book. You will need a piece of lined paper for your independent work and for your group work. So I need you to find your name up there. If you're in a group or independent work starting right now, go get a piece of lined paper. I'll bring the paper over here. If you're in a group or independent work, come get a piece of lined paper. Independent work is at your seat. Group work is going to be over here. Groups will work over here. If you're with me, come over here.
JC, do you see it?
Because that dude had elbowed me in my stomach. I'm like,
How much is in it?
and we went like,
Take one group away.
It's so small.
Not just the other one.
we got cameras in.
One group of 8, which is how much? No,
No, we don't. She said pages.
if it's 80,
1A, 1C.
take one away. So how much am I
We need to do pages. We need to do pages of. If it's 8,
that means that 8 times 9 is
Wow. My name is so small. I didn't see it.
Armando, which group are you in?
Yeah,
you're independent work?
You over here.
Okay, well come. No, you're an independent right now. So pull out a green book. Is there one on your table?
Somebody ate.
So get the one from the table next to you. Open that one up and get started on where it says independent work. It says you are on pages 43 and 44. Get started right there.
JC.
Thank you.
Go ahead and get that one.
No, we're in
Back up.
group.
Let's go see one.
Alright, so you know that you wanted to say. We knew that this was.
Yeah, they already circled.
Well,
you already got it. Yeah.
Let me sit right there.
I would subtract 2 groups, which is subtracting how much?
I want to sit by London. You need no ball. You're probably
Making a salad.
You know, making a salad. What do we got in space? First of all, ain't no what to see. Oh, JC, just get rid of those chairs here. No. You ain't got no more space. I do. There's barely any space. Ain't gonna have no space to wipe.
Sit down. Okay, you're a hottie push. Push me all your strength.
Okay, what page we go to?
57. Why would y'all just do the diet?
Okay, first we're gonna draw a type diagram with 6 in it. 5 compartments with 6 in it.
He's a lemon squeeze.
So that means 5 compartments with 6 in it because that means
8 first, and then plus 5 would change our answer. But we're trying to get 5 plus 4 times 8. So let's say, if you look at this equation, we'll start with 8 times 4 is 9 plus 8 times 5.
Why not plan?
we don't hear our words.
I was not even
So what
Yeah, because I just watched it.
Who's circle all these?
But it
Recording. What's this? What's it do? I'm not doing it. Hey, get out of there. What to do? Just look at it, not put boy. Go to one. Just to one, ain't this? Boom, done. Girl, you better. If you don't stop, I'm not gonna pick on your friend. I wish it was Sean's home, so that way I could bring my coffee to school.
40 plus 30
Ow.
Come here. Both of them. Come here.
If you add the 3 and 4 and 7 and then you got a 0.
What's that? 5 plus
I know every time that name on JoJo, you're still over there playing. Danielle has asked you why you're playing and not working, and you're still playing. Go to your seat, and both of you better have both of them pages completed during recess. Get your paper, go to your seat.
Turn around and pay attention to me.
Both of you. Put that pencil back in the clip where you got it from.
Alright, when we come back from lunch and recess, you are going to move on to your second rotation. So y'all can go back to your seats. We're going to be moving on to our second rotation after lunch and recess.
Alright, so let me just say this part. Kids have got to learn, like your parents are at work, they took a lunch break. You are at school, you took a lunch break. And now it's just time to get back to work. Your parents work and make money, you work and make grades. Get to work. Get to work. Everybody in the family is at work.
You get to your group. So if you were with the teacher last time, you're now you're doing group work. Group work is over there. If you are doing independent work, you're at your seat. Remember the pages are on the board. If you're with me, you're over here.
And everyone is working and everyone is quiet. Everyone is working and everyone is quiet because they're respectful of the other person.
If you're working in a group over there, Isaiah and Ernie, I should not see you playing.
I hear a lot of voices and it should not be that way. It just should not. Excuse me. Am I a robot?
No.
It should not be any talking.
They're doing group work over there.
Group work, your voices should be just for you and your person to hear, not us. Make the statement true. 8 times 8.
to go touch the board. What's 80 minus 8?
Although what even is, that wasn't even why. It said it was the end of the
How old are you?
So we all had to work.
And she's 6.
Yeah,
And
well,
you're 9?
they are over there doing, I believe
What grade is she in?
okay, so we can split it. They 1A1C2.
Second. So you like a girl who's 6, gonna turn tomorrow, gonna turn 7 tomorrow. And my brother's 7 and
Go get one.
Oh, you don't have one in the 3.
There you go.
Get a sharpness.
No, it's not and I don't know. What we supposed to be doing? Give my book. No, it's see what I skipped?
Oh, you're not supposed to write in the book?
You got the money. Value of each row. Then add the row. It's what's her name? What is it? Drew? That's not gonna do anything. It's not even gonna help you buy it. Okay, I would just do this. You said do A, C. Okay, so
I don't have a, that means you're just completely skipping B.
yeah, because B. Hey, or B. Get it? Because 70B. I said 70B. That's a bad joke.
So someone's right. Wow.
Because it's 3B. B. Okay, I'm ready.
I'm going to say here is here. Yeah, that's wow.
Wait, you get it out.
If you take that to the store, you gonna get it.
I hope if you're working in your group that everybody is working together over there.
No, we're not, because y'all not even helping us.
Yes, we are.
Okay, we'll start working together.
He over there snorting.
No, I'm not.
I'm
I
not talking.
Stop arguing and get to work. Okay, so we're saying 8 times 5.
I'm mindless. I am just completely mindless. Do you have any ideas? Do you have any ideas? Jim. Do you have any ideas? Never mind.
Exactly. Don't say if you don't think I'm shying over this. Then I ain't. That's what I'm saying. That's what my name. Ooh.
You want to know who Ariel is? Ariel likes moving.
I'm moving.
No, go back down there.
No, because I don't snort when like. Wait, they snort.
Because we
Peppa Pig.
So what does this one mean? And what is 1906?
No.
You got to. We're in
They ain't gonna get you nowhere.
Yeah, we are.
They aren't, because they keep playing.
Oh, my glasses falling off my face. Johnny, can you put my glasses back in my face? Stop. Yeah, they're not there on my ear. I can feel them on my ear. Are we playing? Are we playing?
They are on the film. They do.
Adrian, there's hand sanitizer over here. Come back.
You don't have to go.
There's some right here. Oh, it's on.
No. So don't.
This is so sad and tragic.
What? Because I just don't.
This is so It won't turn. What's happening? I'm going to each centimeter has a value of 6.
I'm not.
I don't care. My neck, not my
Stop. They ain't working together. I'm trying to get
3, 6, 9, 12.
No one's helping me, so I guess
You're
I'll
not even asking for help.
I guess I'll just
You're doing it for this.
work.
Should I take a journey? I barely touched you. I did this.
Ow.
I know you was not saying ow to when I'm on like that.
Ow.
I know saying
Ow. 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 Ow.
I'm barely. I just doing this and she said, ow. See, look, watch. Watch this.
Ow. I can stab my wrist and it does not hurt. Stabbing my Ow.
Are you kidding me?
Ow. Ow. No, that actually hurt.
Watch this.
Ow. Ow. What? Okay. Ow. Now, ow.
9 times 6.
Pick that up.
21.
Pick the sharpener up.
21.
Pick it up, boy. Pick it up, boy. Pick it up, boy. I also touched Journey's book and she said, ow.
I can just touch her pencil.
Ow. What are you talking about? Ow. See, you're doing so much. That stuff hurt. That stuff hurt.
So this hurts?
Does it not?
No! Look! That does not hurt.
I'm not a baby like you. I'm a strong, independent boy. Well, woman. Plus,
6, 12, 18,
25.
24.
Summer, summer holidays.
This hurts. This hurts. This hurts right here.
Ow.
That hurt. I know it did.
That doesn't hurt. I mean, yes, it does.
Are you kidding me? Look, does this hurt, Asher?
What's another number that adds up?
That hurt.
Are you kidding me? So if I pinch hard, that hurts.
I know.
She's trying to kill herself. I think she's trying to.
Alright, it's time to rotate. I need the next group to come to me. If you were on your group work, you go to your independent work. If you were on your whatever the board says, whatever group you were in, do what that board says.
Anytime we get independent, when you hit me like,
Sit down. You fall to you.
Towel blanket off the floor. It's up there in the green book. Open those pages up. It's on the floor. I probably thought we worked out more with our let's draw a diagram. Let's think about we know 8 times 4, we don't know 8 times 4. Close to 8 times something.
We can't hear.
The less than
Wait, stop. Kendall, okay, so everybody, I'm wondering now, whether come over here. Yeah, come over here. Right here. Everybody got y'all names already? Yes. See, you have to get an L. Oh. No, the paper over there. I need to go back. No, the paper over there. Okay, let's go there. Okay, it says, find the value of each row and add the rows to find the total. Okay, okay, so we have, so we got to do this. So, Armando, come over here. Get your paper in here. Come on, come over here. Okay, this one, come on. Everybody. Okay, see what?
Get up here.
Who's Adrian? Okay.
So
Okay,
he can see.
okay, Armando. Okay, Armando. Everybody, okay, listen. No, I don't have to do it. We all doing it. So just in case, we gotta find the value of each row, then add the rows to find the total.
Okay.
Each blank has a value of okay, 9 times. Like we can do 5 times 6, 34 times 6.
So if we multiply,
Okay.
Somebody.
multiply by this, what number do we not have in this equation?
Because you're trying to be the smartest over here.
Okay, so I'm gonna everybody do number 1.
Number 1.
Make 1 on your paper. One Kindle. Only one time. And 5 times 6.
So this, if we do it like this, you're right, we would just get right back up. But if we look at this problem,
No, wait,
we're
yeah.
saying
You ain't on that.
plus 8 times 5.
Do the problem.
So if we write 8 plus 8 times 5.
Okay, so what's that? Okay. I'm under. Okay, everybody put 9 times 6. I already did. Everybody put, don't put the answer. No, don't put 9 times 6 and don't put the answer. And put it 4
Y'all put
times.
the answer. Some of us gonna call.
Yeah, if you put the answer,
So everybody put 9 times 6.
And 5 times.
9 times 6.
They put 5 times.
5 times 6. They already told us the answer.
We have to write that down.
No, just
Beat that out.
you have to write it in.
Okay.
Do you like my
So, Okay. Okay,
You said 8 times 9? You said 8 times 36, 30. No, you right there on 36. 9 times 8 is 32.
And then what's the other one?
It's 72. I'm on your 90. That's how. 8. Now I don't like it.
Okay. Everybody, I'm doing it now.
Oh, he's right. It is 38. Yeah, no, everybody.
Let me do it. 5, 10, 15, 20.
8 times 30.
Yes, I'm gonna do it.
It's 35. See, look, it's
Oh, it's 30.
He is correct. Exactly. I'm about 6.
So 9 times 7 is
Okay.
No, I'm counting the next one. Now we're gonna hold on.
No, it's not. Don't say it out loud.
Okay.
Oh, shh. Look.
4, 8. 4, 8, 12, 16. 4, 8,
Now, the next one. Each one has a value of 7.
There's still 6.
6 is over there. Okay, come on, y'all.
Hurry.
We gonna be, everybody we gonna be. Everybody we gonna be, go be.
No, 30 didn't.
Alright, everybody can go ahead and go back to their seats. Excuse me. Everyone can go ahead and go back to their seats. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So I want you to pull out your group work real quickly. Pull out your group work. And I would like somebody who can explain to us how they solved the first problem. So everyone needs to have their green book open up to those pages. They were pages 56 and 57. So that we can read the problems together and we know what we are looking at. So open up to page 56 and 57. Oh, put on the dusty book. It's okay if you are not finished. We're just checking to see. Alright, when I call a steak out of the cup, I want somebody to explain to to me how they did 1A. Explain to me how you did 1A. Number 17.
So what we did was put 5 groups of 6
Okay, how'd you get 5 groups of 6?
because on the chart it says that every block it has value of 6.
Good. Every block has a value of 6. And how many blocks were there? 5?
Yes.
5. And each one has 6, a value of 6, which means that represents the number 6. So then what did you do?
I counted up my 5 to get 30.
Okay, well they gave us that already. Alright, then what?
And then we did 4 times 6,
Equals?
36.
That equals what? Who else is in your group?
Danielle.
If you were in the group with Tyra, raise your hand. What did you get for 4 times 6?
4 times.
What's 4 times 6, class?
24.
24. What do I need to do now, Kyra, since this was your problem? I have 30 and I have 24. Now what?
You wrote the problem below as soon as we got the answers.
Oh, okay, you wrote them down here. Okay. So we have the 30 here for 5 times 6 is 30, and 4 times 6, the class said was 24. This right here says I need to add them together. What's 30 plus 24?
54.
54. Good job. All right, let's go down to 1C because that was the next one you were supposed to work on.
Moving on.
Down to 1C. Number 2. What did you do?
So I counted I did 5 times 8 and I counted by 5 8 times, that gave me 40.
Okay. Then what?
And then it said blank times 8 equal blank, and I put 4
Why 4?
because there was 4 groups.
Okay. Equals what?
32.
Okay. Now what? What do I need to write on this blank?
4
Why 4?
because there's 5 groups on top and then 4 groups at the bottom.
Equation, which altogether gave us what, class?
72.
No, the multiplication equation.
9 times 8.
9 times 8. Good. So now what do I need to do down here? I have 5 times 8. Now what do I need? Class?
4 times
4 times 8, which is what? Class? 32. So what's 40 plus 32? 72. So what's 9 times 8? 72. Good job. Alright, go to the next page. Page 57. You were supposed to work on number 2 and try to get as many on number 2 as you could while you were in your groups. So, let me zoom this out some more so we can all see it. So the first one up here says 9 5 minus 1 5 equals 50 minus 5. What equation can we write for 9 5s?
9 times
9 times 5, which is what?
Which is 9 times. It's 45.
It's 45. How do you know it's 45, Selwyn?
Because I know it. I know that 5 times 8 equals 40. So then you just add one more 5 to it, and you get 45.
Good. So they already gave us the answer here. That one must be 45, which was the same as our equation that we just said. So let's work on the next one. The next one says 9 6s equals 10 6s minus 1 6. What do I need to write on this blank right here?
You can write 60
I need to write 60 minus 6 because I have 10 sixes and I'm subtracting 1 6. 160 minus 6, 5.
54.
54. 54. What multiplication equation is 9 sixes?
9 times 6.
9 times 6. So we're just going to match it like that. Good job. The next one says 9 sevens equals 10 sevens minus 1 7. If we know before that 10 sixes is 60, what's 10 sevens?
70.
70. So I need to write 70 on that line. And then I subtract 7, and I'm going to get what?
You're gonna get 81. You're gonna get. What did you say?
70 minus 7
Oh, 70 minus 7 is 63.
is 63. Good. So we'll find our 63 on here, and we'll draw our line so it matches. So what did we say that 9 sevens would be? What multiplication equation is that, Diana? 9 sevens. Kendall, what multiplication equation am I writing for 9 sevens?
Oh.
9 times 7. Good. Let's write that over here so we don't forget. We already said it was 63, so then we find 9 times 7 over here, and we match it up. Good. D says 9 eighths. What multiplication equation do you think that one will be?
9 times 8.
9 times 8. Good. Then we said 10 eighths minus 1 eighth. How many eighths are we?
80.
What am I going to write for 10 eighths?
80.
80. Good. Minus 8.
Minus 8.
72.
8 equals 72.
It equals 72. You draw your line, and we said earlier that our multiplication equation would be what?
9 times 8.
9 times 8. Good. Then we have 9 nines. What's that multiplication equation?
9 times
9
90.
times
9
9.
times
10 nines is how much?
90.
90. 1 9 is how much?
9.
Minus 9. What's 90 minus 9?
Is it
81.
81. Draw the line to match there, and there's our multiplication equation. The last one says 9 fours. What's that equation?
9 times 4.
9 times 4. Then I have 10 fours minus 1 4. How many fours do I have on the first one? I have 10 fours. It's how much? 40. 10 fours is the same as 40. Minus 1 4.
4.
Minus 4. What's 40 minus 4?
35.
What's 40 minus 4?
36.
36. Draw my line there, and we said our equation would be 9 times 4. Good job. Y'all helped us solve the whole page. All right, open it up to your problem set sheet. That was the paper that was on pages
Page
43
and 44.
and 44. Let's go through that very quickly. All right. Starting out on number 1, what do I need to write for 8 times 8?
8
Or
times
let's start right here. 8 times 5 equals what?
40.
40. And then on this side of the array, we have 8 times how much?
3.
3, because there's 3 in each row, equals what? 24. So when I come down here, I have 8 times 5 plus something. What am I adding together?
8 times 5 plus 8 times
5 plus what?
5 plus 3.
5 plus 3. Why is it 5 plus 3, Debriana?
Because the array that has 4 rows of 3 is the end. If you do 8 times 5, you get 40, but the 5 plus the 3 equals 8.
Good. We get 5 plus 3 because we have 5 in this side in each row, and then on this side we have 3 in each row. But we want to combine those so that we have 8 times 8. So now that I have 5 plus 3, I already have 8 times 5 plus 8 times what?
3.
3. Good. We know that it's the 3 because we already used the 5. So we gotta keep moving on to the other numbers we haven't used. And they already told us that 8 times 5 is 40, and we said earlier 8 times 3 was what?
24.
24. 40 plus 24 is?
64.
64. So what's 8 times 8?
64.
64. Good. Moving on to the next one. 8 times 9 equals 9 times 8 equals blank. We gotta solve for it. We have 8 times 5 is what again?
40.
40. Now what am I gonna put for this multiplication equation?
8 times 4 equals 28.
8 times 4 equals what?
28.
8 times 4 equals what?
28, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32.
It equals 32. So when we come down here, we have 8 times 5 plus something. Earlier we put our 3 in that blank. What do you think we need to put in this blank, Armando?
4.
Armando? We did our 3 over there. We have 8 times 4 up here, and we have 8 times 5 over here. We've already used our 8 for both problems, and we've already used our 5. So now we need to use what, Armando? 4. Good. So now we have 8 times 5 plus 8 times what?
4.
4. Good. We said 8 times 5 is 40. What was 8 times 4 again, class?
8 times 4 equals 32.
It's 32. Kendall, what's 40 plus 32? 72. Thank you. All right, let's quickly move down to number 2. Well, I want to give y'all enough time to do the exit ticket. Let's just go ahead and move on to our exit ticket. So y'all put that away and pull out your composition notebooks real fast. Pull out your composition notebook. Open it up to the next blank page. Our exit ticket for today says each block has a value of 9. Complete the equations to find the total value of the tower of blocks. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to work on this problem. It's okay if you do not get finished. Each block has a value of 9. Complete the equations to find the total value of the tower of blocks. Blank times 9 equals 5 plus blank times 9. And then you fill in all of those blanks. Go ahead, get started.
Where my pencil go?
It should be on your desk. Each block has a value of 9. Complete the equations to make it true. You only have 2 minutes left to keep working on these problems. I will check your exit tickets later. Yes. Well, go get one quickly. Go get one. Go over here, Armando. Over there, by the sharpener. Go quick. If you finish number 1, you can start working on number 2. You have 1 minute left. You don't have to draw it all out. Just write the equations in your notebook.
So do 1 and 2.
If you finish number 1, do number 2. Alright, close your notebooks, put them back in your desk. It's okay if you're not finished. Your papers from your today's problem set, as you walk out the door, I'm going to collect them. So make sure you have them in your hands. Make sure all erasers and pencils are back on the tables where they were when you came in. And you may line up to go to the next class.
Yeah, she does.
I'm collecting your independent work. Line up.